9440. 4405. 944405. 1905.
Welcome back for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place for all of us by helping us solve some crimes and lock up some bad guys. I'm Chris Wright, along with Chief Deputy Matthew Wade from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Good to see you, Matthew.
Hey, it's always good to be on the show, Chris. I tell you what, another good week. You know, what more can you ask from people that help you?
Yeah, success from the viewers again this week.
Absolutely. We had 7 arrests this week, brings our count up to 3,795 people put in jail, all because, I say it every week, but it's because somebody was willing to get involved. And thank you.
All right, so we'll be showing you some individuals here in just a little while that we're trying to locate this week. If you can help us find them, we would greatly appreciate it. We'll also be talking about some crimes that have been committed recently, and hopefully you can share some information that helps us solve one or more of these crimes. And I know that a lot of people right now are very frustrated with having their cars broken into.
Absolutely. We've had a rash. We've got what we think to be 2 to 3 groups working all across Calhoun County right now that's doing property crimes, thefts. And we've arrested actually 2 different groups, and we got them in jail. I mean, people don't realize how much effort it goes into doing the investigation, getting the evidence needed to get the warrants. Then after you get the warrants, you got to find them. And so we've arrested 2 different groups, and both sets of groups were able to bond right back out of jail. It's very frustrating to us as law enforcement officers that we work so hard to catch these people, and then when they get in jail, you know, our Constitution allows for everybody to have a bond, and these people are able to make bond, and you know, we're right back to square one. So my best advice is don't leave your property unattended. You know, lock your car doors at night, even if you live in a good neighborhood. If you think you live in a good neighborhood, those are the neighborhoods that are going to come look for stuff.
Right.
You know, I have a home alarm on my house. I also have a camera system on my house. Camera system in today's world, less than $200, you can have a camera system at your house that will send you alerts if somebody walks past that camera. They're easy to install. You know, those are the good recommendations that I have to help protect yourself.
That doesn't always help you find somebody, but it does help you convict them once you do find them. You know,
That's
a
right.
lot of times you can catch somebody and you know they did it, but you can't prove they did it.
Having that video sure helps us, because if we capture, there's been recent times homeowners have had those shots of people caught by cameras, and we'll put them on Facebook, and man, we'll have people come out of the woodwork. We're actually still looking for 2 people who did a burglary up on the east side of the county that we haven't been able to find them. So we knew they did that burglary. We got warrants on them. We're scouring high and low for them daily.
So when you find them, you potentially solve a whole bunch of other crimes.
Hopefully, and you know, while they're out, I'm sure they haven't stopped. So do what you can to keep yourself from being a victim.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup, and we will be joined by Mr. Mike Stedham to talk about the Addams family. Okay, coming up on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead,
drug addict, alcoholic,
meth freak,
a wretch.
like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken, sad,
Just lost.
but now I am
Sober.
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
I have a lot of land that I have to keep up. I'd recommend Mahindra. I've never had any trouble with mine. Like I said, I do a lot of bush hogging. I do a lot of garden tilling. The service department has been great. Every time I've ever called or needed anything done, they have done it for me.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
Ready for a new ride? Get ready for Rig. I'm Rig A. Marole, and I am ready with all the fancy jargon, made-up expenses, marketing gimmicks, and flat-out lies that you've come to expect when you go car shopping. You want to pay way too much for a piece of junk like this? Get a load of me, Rig A. Marole, at your neighborhood used car dealer. I'll have you marolling off this lot in your new vehicle.
I'm Marty Boyles, and I guarantee no rigmarole here at Jacksonville Auto Sales. Just good cars and trucks at fair prices. We're in Jacksonville across from Walmart, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Let's take a look at this week's lineup of bad guys here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Not necessarily all bad guys, but people that have made some poor decisions. We start with Jason McDaniel of Oxford, who is wanted for failure to appear for second-degree possession of marijuana. Raydonis Kirksey of Anniston, wanted for failure to appear for child support. Christopher Jenkins of Ohatchee, probation revocation for second-degree possession of marijuana and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. Tara Evans from Anniston, wanted for failure to pay for third-degree theft of property. Chauncey McClellan from Talladega, wanted for failure to appear for carrying a pistol without a permit. Nicholas Smith of Talladega, wanted for failure to appear for obstructing government operations. And Lewis Hawkins of Anniston, wanted on a probation revocation for third-degree receiving stolen property. That's just the first half of this week's lineup. We'll get to the second half here in a few minutes. If you have any information about these cases, please contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers. They want your information, not your name, and you can call them at 256-238-1414. We are back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We'll have some more bad guys for you here in just a few minutes, but right now Mike Stedham is joining us.
Hey, Chris.
From CAST. How you doing, Mike?
I'm great, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
All right, and so we've got another big production coming up. The Community Actor Studio Theater.
Yes.
Is taking on the Addams Family.
Yes. In fact, this weekend we're going to have two shows, Friday night and Saturday night, at the Oxford Performing Arts Center. We've never done a show in that huge stage before, so we're very excited. Having to build bigger sets, bigger tables. Actors are still the same size, but
I understand that you attempted to get Matthew to play Lurch, but he was holding out for Morticia.
No, we were actually hoping he would be Uncle Fester.
I could almost pull that off.
If you would shave your head.
You know, I can put a light bulb in my mouth and it does come on.
That's good. Can you play a banjo? You play the bagpipes.
I play the bagpipes.
That's almost the same.
Not the banjo, but close.
Yeah, because we do. It would be hard to sing and play. Can you sing and play the bagpipes at the same time?
No.
Okay. Well, sorry. Maybe next time.
So this is a musical.
It is. It was on Broadway about 7 or 8 years ago, based on the characters from the movie, from the TV show, from the cartoons, exactly. But a brand new story. Wednesday is growing up. In fact, pretty soon she'll be Thursday. Yes, that's one of the jokes in the play. And so as she grows up, she finds a boyfriend. And the boyfriend has parents. So the parents come to visit the Addams family, and hilarity ensues.
What could possibly go wrong?
That line is actually in the show. We're going to have dinner, because you know in a situation comedy, whenever they say, what can possibly go wrong, the answer is almost always everything.
Absolutely. So,
yes.
So was there fighting over these roles? I mean, we grow up with these characters. Right. A lot of times you're putting on productions with characters that nobody knows.
Right.
And, okay, you get some interest in playing those roles. People will research the roles, say, yeah, I'd like to do that. But with something like the Addams Family, you grew up watching these characters. Somebody's got to be saying, man, I would love to be this.
The easiest one was Lurch. We only had one actor who was 6'8" to try out for Lurch. So, I mean, and again, had you come in
I'm not 6'8".
No, you're tall, but you're not. Yeah, you're not 6'8". But yeah, exactly. We had several people for the roles, and it was a kind of a question of looking at them, putting in Morticia and a Wednesday together, and the young man who plays her boyfriend, Lucas. The people who came were so incredibly talented. That's a joy to get to pick from people who can sing well and dance well, even at the same time, which is pretty amazing. No, I was very lucky. We had some very talented people show up, and then so I was able to put together a very talented cast.
So you're directing this one, and
yep, exactly. I've got 3 choreographers. I've got 2 music directors. So I don't do singing and dancing, so they handle that part. I just tell them where to stand, when to sit, when to be funny, speed up, slow down, put on this costume, try this color, that kind of thing, and it's going to be great.
So how did we decide on the Addams Family?
Well, the board of directors of CAST, we've become an all-volunteer organization now, so they're dragging volunteers in like me to do the direction. So we wanted to do the Addams Family, and I had seen this particular play. I'd seen a professional company do it. I'd seen a community theater company do it.
And you thought, man, we could do this better.
I really thought so. Because we have so many incredibly talented people, as I was saying, here in town. Yeah, so I think we're going to do a good job with it. I'm very happy. And then the place where we normally do the plays out at McClellan was being renovated, so they said, well, where can we do this show? And they said, well, how about Oxford Performing Arts Center? If you've ever been there to any shows, you know the really first-class quality they have. Their box office and everything is just wonderful. The stage is enormous. It's probably twice as big as the stage we're normally working on.
And that has an impact on the actors.
It does.
When you've got a nice facility, when you've got the tools around you and the space to move, it just really frees the actor to bring everything out.
Yeah, St. Michael's has been very wonderful. They've loaned us their fellowship hall for weekend rehearsals, and we can almost get the whole set in their huge, but it's even going to be bigger than that. And the actors are getting spoiled by the dressing rooms. I mean, really, they're just, what do I have my own chair, I have my own lights.
So now we're going to start dealing with egos.
Because there are star dressing rooms backstage. Yeah, who gets to be the star? I'm just saying, we may need to call you guys in with the handcuffs just to kind of, restore order. We have 22 people in the cast, 10 principals, and then 12 people in the chorus, and yeah, they're already eyeing the rooms with this. So, yeah.
So you could put on your next resume, hey, I arrested Uncle Fester.
Yes. But if you can arrest Gomez, if you can arrest Lurch, that's the one to.
We didn't talk about Thing, did we?
No, you will see Thing at the very beginning, because again, if you think about the Addams Family, you can't do it without the song, right? Right. And Thing will be out to lead us in the finger snaps. Yes, absolutely. Right. And he's also going to be helping John Garlick, one of the hosts of the show, who may need some assistance from Thing. Between the acts.
John needs all kinds of assistance.
Yes, but he will get to say the iconic line, "Thank you, Thing." So yeah, that's
cool. Yeah. All right, so we'll talk more about CAST and everything else that's coming up, and some more about the Addams Family in just a few minutes. We need to take a quick break. We'll be back with the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Ready for a new ride? Get ready for Rig. I'm Rig A. Marole, and I am ready with all the fancy jargon, made-up expenses, marketing gimmicks, and flat-out lies that you've come to expect when you go car shopping. You want to pay way too much for a piece of junk like this? Get a load of me, Rig A. Marole, at your neighborhood used car dealer. I'll have you marolling off this lot in your new vehicle.
I'm Marty Boyles, and I guarantee no rigmarole here at Jacksonville Auto Sales. Just good cars and trucks at fair prices. We're in Jacksonville across from Walmart, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
I have a lot of land that I have to keep up. I'd recommend Mahindra. I've never had any trouble with mine. Like I said, I do a lot of bush hogging. I do a lot of garden tilling. The service department has been great. Every time I've ever called or needed anything done, they have done it for me.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead,
Drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
And here we have the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Marquise Smith of Jacksonville, wanted for harassing communications. Charmaine Davis of Ohatchee, wanted for failure to appear for second-degree possession of a forged instrument. Sandra Page of Sylacauga, don't take any checks from her. She's wanted for passing multiple bad checks. Albert Weems of Anniston, wanted for theft of property, first degree by deception. Takesha Ball of Anniston, wanted on bond revocation for criminal mischief, second degree, and reckless endangerment. Jessica Olvey of Anniston, wanted for failure to pay for use and possession of drug paraphernalia. If you have any information about these cases, please call Crime Stoppers. You could get a cash reward of up to $1,000. The number to call is 256-238-1414. And we're back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the Crime Stoppers segment coming up in just a few minutes. But right now, Mike Stedham is with us from CAST, Community Actors Studio Theater.
That's us.
We've been talking about the Addams Family that opens this weekend.
It opens and closes this weekend. We have a Friday night show at 7:30, Oxford Performing Arts Center. We have a Saturday night show, Oxford Performing Arts Center, 7:30. And then we're taking it down. We're moving out as theater people do. We have to strike the set and restore things to where they were.
So that'll be a little bit of a change. Normally you'll have a show that'll run for a couple of weeks.
Exactly,
and
right.
Several different shows, but with the number of seats available that you have.
Normally, because we're doing this in a theater that if you pack it to the brim, you get about 300 people in it. Now we're going to Oxford Performing Arts Center. They've got many more seats. But tickets will be $20 for adults, $10 for students. If you show up about 7 o'clock or so on Friday or Saturday, there will be a seat for you. You can go ahead and go to oxfordpac.org, I think it is, their website. You can buy a ticket now, or you can, as I say, they'll be available at the door.
Is it reserved seating or is it general admission?
It's general admission.
Okay, so
Yeah,
arrive early, but you'll be able to get.
Absolutely, yes. And the thing about this theater, the lighting and sound system is just so professional. We're working with a couple of people from there, and they are just tremendous. So yeah, there's not a bad seat in the house.
What are you anticipating as far as the crowds and how that's going to affect the actors? Because I know the more energy you have in the crowd, the more it feeds into the actors.
Exactly. Generally, if you've got a couple of hundred people there all laughing and enjoying something at the same time, you're exactly right. It feels different than if you have 40 or 50 people out in the audience. And yeah, the actors, our people have been, and most of them have been in a lot of local shows already, and we're really anticipating that. Once you've been working in a show for about 2 months, there are just jokes you want to share with people. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited about this show because the singing is so good, the dancing is so good, the jokes are so funny. Yeah, people are going to enjoy this.
Very cool. So let's talk about CAST in general, right, and what else you've got coming.
Right. Well, after this, a Tuna Christmas. I don't know if you've ever seen the Greater Tuna show. It's about a couple of radio people. You and I ought to try out for this one, Chris, because it's a couple of radio disc jockeys. We're doing that. We're doing a show that's murder mystery based on some Sherlock Holmes stories. That's a comedy.
So now we've got a role for Matthew.
Yeah. You could be Watson, I think, if you're interested. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think Watson's skinnier than I am.
Not necessarily. In fact, in the old productions, Nigel Bruce was not a thin man who played.
There is hope.
Old, yes,
there is hope.
And then we've got an '80s musical special that's coming in to close the season that I don't know a whole lot about, but I'm told it's just going to be really, really good. Oh, and also Plaza Suite, which is a Neil Simon comedy where we're going to have, I think, 3 couples It all takes place at a New York City hotel, and being Neil Simon, lots of silly things happen. And those are going to be back out at McClellan. They're going to finish the renovation out there, and so I think we're going to go back to our old haunts for a while.
Well, talking about the organization itself, you've made this transition to fully volunteer.
Yes,
How's that
exactly.
going?
So far, very, very well. We did it back in March, and the first show we did was Hairspray, which was a musical that, boy, we had a wonderful time with that. We had just a tremendously great young cast. Brian Rothwell and I co-directed it because I'd never really done a musical before. And we just had the time of our lives. That's sort of what inspired us to want to do the Addams Family. We were having so much fun with these people. And we got a lot of the people from Hairspray are in the Addams Family. And they were just having a great time, so they wanted to keep doing this. And I said, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. If people want to be a part of CAST and get involved, what can they do?
We will have auditions. The best thing to do is go to castalabama.com. That's our website. Or is it castalabama.org? Try both of them, because it's just like a couple of different letters there. But go to castalabama.org or com, and we will have auditions very soon for Greater Tuna Christmas and Plaza Suite, and then we'll have it for the 80s show as well. So, just come get involved. We need people to paint sets, to build things. This cast, we had some people come in and they've been painting and building and just doing an outstanding job for us. So yeah, get involved.
All right, well, very cool. Mike, it's always good to have you on the show.
Thank you. Good to see you, Chris. Good to see you, Matthew.
Yes, sir, always.
Come try out for a show.
CastAlabama.com or .org or .info or .something or
Put
other.
CastAlabama.com in Google and I guarantee you'll find us.
And it is .com, we're finding out from the production booth.
Oh, very
good. So you can go find that and get all the information that you need about the Addams Family that's playing this weekend and this weekend only at the Oxford Performing Arts Center, and also about future productions from CAST, Community Actors Studio Theater here in Calhoun County. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show. We're going to talk about a lot of property crimes going on, and we'll also have our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
I have a lot of land that I have to keep up. I'd recommend Mahindra. I've never had any trouble with mine. Like I said, I do a lot of bush hogging. I do a lot of garden tilling. The service department has been great. Every time I've ever called or needed anything done, they have done it for me.
Hey folks, come see us at Foothills Tractor. We're your one-stop shop for anything you need. Locally owned, locally operated, give you the best customer service guaranteed.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict,
Alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch like me.
I once was.
homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Quite a few victims in this week's Crime Stoppers segment on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We'll start on the night of September the 10th. Somewhere between the 10th and 11th, a red Jeep Liberty was broken into while parked at a residence on Roy Webb Road in Jacksonville. Money was stolen out of the vehicle. Between August the 20th and September the 10th, a residence on Bernard Couch Drive in Anniston was broken into. An air conditioner unit and electrical wiring were stolen. Between September 7th and 8th, the white Chrysler 300 was broken into while parked at a residence on Wellington Drive in Wellington. A firearm and U.S. currency were stolen. Wellington Drive, not a good place to be that night. A black Chevy Tahoe also broken into while parked at a different residence on Wellington Drive in Wellington. Nothing reported stolen at this time. Again, on September 8th, a silver Kia Spectra broken into while parked at a different residence on Wellington Drive in Wellington. Money stolen out of this vehicle. And again, on September 8th, a white Nissan Altima broken into while parked at yet another residence on Wellington Drive. Money and a state of Alabama notary seal were stolen. Between September the 7th and 8th, a residence on Roy Webb Road in Jacksonville was broken into. Some damage was caused to the door, but nothing has been reported stolen at this time. Between August 21st and September the 6th, a residence on Jamback Road in Anniston was broken into. Money, tools, and groceries were stolen. Between September 5th and 6th, a white Ford F-250 truck was broken into. The truck was parked at the intersection of Friendship Road and Jennifer Lane in Oxford. A portable air compressor stolen. Another white F-250, a newer model, broken into between September 3rd and 6th. This vehicle was parked at a residence on Prickett Trail in Jacksonville. A firearm was stolen. And between September 2nd and 6th, a business located on Angel Station Road in Jacksonville was broken into. Money and office supplies were stolen here. Between September 5th and 6th, a building located on Mellon Bridge Road in Oxford was broken into. A green Yamaha golf cart and assorted tools were stolen. That's a long list. If you have any information about any of these cases, please contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers. The number to call is 256-238-1414.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, now, Matthew, you understand that it can be a stressful situation when you are being pursued by the police, right? You're driving down the road, police are chasing you. That's stressful.
I've never been pursued by the police, but I've been the pursuer. Mm-hmm. So that is stressful.
The best way, would you agree, to deal with that stress would be to pull over and take a breather?
I'd pull over and do what everybody tells you to do would be the best way for that to come to a good ending.
Now, our subject today, Mr. Bruce Dewey, did not choose that option. He chose a different option. He called 911 and said, well, actually it was 999 because it was over in Britain and they have a different number, but he calls up 999 and says, hey, these police are chasing me. Can you get them to stop?
We sure can. If you just pull over to the side of the road and do what they say, everything will end peacefully,
Yeah, that's about how it ended for him.
Yeah, you run from the police, that's not good, that's not good at all. But,
we do appreciate him calling 911, though, right?
I've actually had that happen.
Really?
Back probably 15 years ago, we were trying to arrest a guy and we were fighting and he didn't want to go to jail. And me and him was wrestling in the front yard. I didn't know how it was going to go. And his wife called 911 on me. And I was glad she did because my friends came to help me get this guy in jail and they wouldn't have been able to come otherwise. So that's an actual true story where somebody called 911 on me for trying to take this guy to jail. And I was truly glad she did it because it brought the cavalry to help me get this guy in custody. So
there you go. Whenever you see a law enforcement officer doing something you don't think is right, call 911 on him. He'll be glad you did.
Yeah, he might need the help.
All right. We will be back next week. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.